Good morning, everybody. I'm Ed Parcaut here with Mike Kelly, and we're Real Estate Jerky Daily. And today is Tuesday.
Yeah, it feels like a Wednesday, doesn't it?
No, it feels like Tuesday.
Oh, it feels like Wednesday to me.
It feels like, Monday was a holiday or something.
Oh, federal holiday. That's right.
Oh, yeah, the banks were closed.
Title
So you had
companies
one more.
weren't.
Yeah, well, they didn't do anything. I mean,
They
funding-wise.
They couldn't record because they couldn't fund, but they were open.
Right, but and that's weird because most of the time they're not open.
I know. Usually when banks are closed and they can't fund and they can't record, and the recorder's closed, they would be closed.
Yeah, usually no one's home.
They lost on that negotiation. Or maybe just a few people were in.
Probably they had some work that needed to get done.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you going to do?
Well, what do you got today?
Well, there wasn't much news today, like I told you before.
Yeah.
Most of it comes out on Wednesday, but I do have a little bit of news that I went and searched for.
Cool.
The Empire State Manufacturing Survey, which shows the health of the manufacturing sector in New York region, which we always say had no idea they still had manufacturing there in New York, was reported at a negative 11.9 for the month of October, a significant drop from the 11.5 in September and much lower than the expectations of 3.8%. They were expecting a 3-point rise in October. So they were expecting like 13.5, right?
Okay.
But that instead it fell by 12 points, which is much weaker expectations that's showing that manufacturing continues to be in a recession.
Right.
So let's go over a couple things, all right?
Okay.
Can we do that real quick?
We can.
All right. Current. So what's helping bonds this morning, because we are currently overall bonds are up a little bit. Earlier today, they were up like 14, 15 basis points. They're about 9 right now. That's okay. But the 10 years down to 4.0473, opened at 4.10.
Okay.
So there's a bigger move this morning. The low was 40.03, but we'll keep going.
Gotcha.
All right. So what's helping bonds this morning is news out of Israel. Oil prices are very important for inflation and filtering the way into everything. So they're not going to attack the oil reserves and the other stuff that they can do. Israel, what they could do.
Israel saying,
we're not going to do that to Iran. We're not going to blow up that stuff. So all that has to do with pressure of oil and everything else.
Right.
It's been on the rise because they thought that Israel was going to retaliate and take out the oil refineries and nuclear, what are they called? Reactor kind of things. Yeah, reactors. Kind of like that. Did you hear they're tearing down the one in San Onofre, the two big tits?
Oh, really?
You know what I'm talking about? The one in San it was a Naked Gun. Everything I see reminds me of her. And it goes by. Yeah. So every time I drove by there, I'd send pictures to my wife. I'm just thinking about you. Don't know why. Got old after a while.
Yeah.
All right. So, but since they're not, oil prices have went down 10%, and that's what's helping overall the bond market and everything else. But the U.S. economy is what they call bifurcated, which means
in two directions.
Hey, there you go. At least one of us went to school.
Buy or sell.
All right. There are some sectors that are performing very well and others that have been weak and clearly in a recession. One of the weak sectors has been manufacturing, and the weak data in that area continues. And that's what's going on right now. And that's why people are like, but it's really great with employment. Oh, but manufacturing is not so great.
Right.
Boeing. Yeah, Boeing, right? Yeah. I can't talk today. They're airplane manufacturers, like we're laying off 10% of our workforce.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so did Tesla.
Right. So but Tesla moved.
True.
And
from California to
if you're not going to get those surpluses for tax write-offs for your company to build, or subsidies, I guess those would be called, for all that stuff, you can't afford to have these people.
Right.
If our tax dollars are going to supplement these companies, they shouldn't be there. Why don't we get tax dollars to supplement all the mortgage companies that have been hurting for the last year and a half so that we can stay around?
Yeah. I think that's a good idea.
And real estate companies and everybody else. But that doesn't work that way. It only works if you need their votes. Just like Kamala Harris is saying she is going to give $1 million business loan to black
companies, black men.
Yeah, or whatever. I'm just going what the thing stated.
Yep.
And they're going to actually, the loan, you don't have to pay it back, but that's illegal. You cannot give loans to one type of race or individual and then have it go away. That's unconstitutional. That's all that stuff.
Racist.
I'm not going there. I'm just saying it's unconstitutional.
Yeah. She's jonesing for
What-
the black vote. She's
No, you know what
jonesing
it
for
is?
every vote.
So you're in that relationship and you're leaving, and the other person's doing everything to keep you.
Yeah.
That's what she's doing. She's
Oh.
trying to keep them in the relationship that the Democrats have had with them forever, which is we expect your vote at all costs. And that's the problem. You can't expect anybody's vote unless you're doing something for them.
Here's the other thing. Guess what? That shit's not going to happen anyway. It's a promise. It's an empty promise. Not going to get it past Congress. Not going to get it past anybody. It's not going to happen.
No, it won't.
No. And people are absolutely foolish if they think, oh, again, here they are telling me they're going to do something for me. Well, are you better off today than you were 4.5 years ago?
Well, I'm not trying to get political, but those statements that they're doing, you can't, just the whole, let's take the politics out of it.
Yeah.
Say there was no political parties and you had somebody who was, people don't like Trump because they won't vote for him. And then you have Kamala Harris who can't put a sentence together unless she has the stuff in her ear. Is that really who we want to run our country?
No.
And I don't care if she was Republican, I would say no.
Right.
But that's just me. I'm sorry. I got political. I apologize this morning.
I ran across, are you done with
there's nothing till Wednesday, mortgage applications, and Thursday and Friday. Go.
I read an article. Well, I tried to read an article, but put it this way. It's Inman News. You got to subscribe, and I think it's like $10 a month to subscribe to Inman News. And no.
News?
Inman News. Manus.
Can you say that again real fast?
Manus. Manus. Anyway, I read the byline and a little bit of it before. If you want to read more, you have to subscribe. And I said, nah, I don't want to. Anyway, there's a state association that is, and that was below. That's where below the subscribe line. That is telling NAR and everybody, screw you. We're not going to cooperate with the Clear Cooperation. We're going to do business as usual, and we're going to put commission in our MLS.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I thought it was kind of interesting.
Yeah. I mean, they're fighting the DOJ on a lot of this stuff still.
Yeah.
So
it'll be interesting how this all really fleshes out. I believe you made a mention of who the only person making money in this situation is, and that's the attorney.
Yes, they made like a lot, $222 million.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's usually who makes the money on the class action lawsuits.
Right.
Yes, the other people get some that they would never had, but it's 30% after our costs and everything else.
Split between 7 million people. Here's your $85 check.
That's right. But there's people who are like going, the market's kind of slowed down again.
Yep.
And I think it has to do because rates went up a little bit. Yep. And then you have the uncertainty right now, even more so. Everybody thought it was, oh, look, they're going down. They're continuing to go down. And then we keep saying, that's the death by 1,000 cuts going on right now.
Yeah. I saw it.
I did not have. Anyway.
It felt like the market put their brakes on, screechingly put their brakes on Friday. Just Friday, boom. Yeah, craziness.
Well, because I've had some people who are shopping and they wanted this one house and then they didn't get the offer. Like they took a cash offer. They're like, oh, and they looked at it. We're going to wait till our son gets out of high school now before we move. But if the house would have been popped back on the market, they're going to move, right? And that's the whole thing. If you're writing offers these days, limit your time period so they don't have a bird in the hand and go, okay, I got some offer here. Come on, who's next?
Shop.
Yeah, come on down.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm a little trying to get some voices today, I guess.
You're doing good.
All right.
Used Cars. That was a great show.
You watched Tulsa, right?
Oh, yeah. Tulsa King.
Yeah.
My wife's like, oh, I can't stand Sylvester Stallone. I said, he's actually really good in this part.
He's really good in a lot of movies.
Yeah.
People only remember him from Rocky and Rambo.
Adrian.
But then he did those not untouchable, when he had all the actors come back from the 90s.
Yeah. Was it the Untouchables?
Maybe it was. But anyway, that was the best one because they're like, oh man, I remember all those guys.
Big old reunion. Yeah. Before Bruce Willis was not able to speak.
He was doing so many movies, so horrible just to get money.
Yeah.
And, because they have to keep working to keep the insurance too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yep.
All right.
That's like the dude who did Sharknado so he could do just insurance, and then became such a cult that
hey, what do you have? Like Sharknado 11?
Yeah, something.
Dumbest damn movie in the world, but it's a cult phenomenon.
Did you ever watch Deadpool yet? The new one?
No, not yet.
Oh, it's funny, man.
Is it?
Yeah. The problem is I had to keep going to my wife. You know why this is funny, right? Is because, why these things, cameos are.
Yeah. Why? Yeah, if you don't have that background knowledge, it's not going to make any sense to you.
No, and that's why they say the second and third time you watch it, it's funny. But that dog is such the ugliest dog in the world. but that's how they were bred to be.
Yeah, so ugly but cute.
Yeah, yeah.
Was that the hairless?
Well, with the tongue out constantly,
and the nasty ass teeth.
Yeah, the whole thing, the hair, everything.
Yeah,
we're way off subject today because there's nothing else to talk about.
Yeah,
we don't want to be constantly political.
Yeah, and we could be. Boy, could we. It seems like it's slowed down a little bit. It'll pick back up again.
Of course it will.
Yeah.
I mean, we're 3 weeks from the election.
Was it that soon?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't still have my election material. Everybody else seems to have it.
I have mine.
I know. Karen's got hers.
Yeah. Well, maybe they thought you already voted.
Well, they could think that because they didn't. Maybe somebody voted for me, and oh my God.
Yeah.
My grandpa's rolling over in his grave again.
Well, I hope not.
I hope not too. I hope he doesn't vote Democrat again this year.
Yeah. All right, let's call it before we get in trouble.
Okay.
More.
Bye, kids. Have a wonderful.
I guess your aunt didn't show up
Tuesday.
Today.
She's probably sleeping in.
Yeah, she's like, I'm tired of listening to that guy.
All his political repertoire.
That's right. All right, everyone, make it a great day. Thanks for being here. We really appreciate you. Let people know what we do here, or maybe not. All right, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Some days they talk about real estate.
Well, we talk about real estate every day. Just sometimes we get off on tangents. All right, make it a great day.
Bye. Kids.